Hey, friends.
Welcome to Leave Me Alone. I'm working on it. I'm Cassie J.
I'm Aurea Joale. If you were watching the video version of this podcast, ignore my face. I'm happy to be here. I'm just tired. That's it. See, this is why
You're
I said
very
Botox would
pregnant.
be very helpful.
I understand, but I still disagree.
Poker
I get
face.
what you're saying. Poker face, you could control all the emotions.
Ma'am, you've touched your mic.
Ah, guys, I
Cassandra
hit
and
my
touching.
mic.
Look, let us
I was
tell
on
you
mute.
about the horrors of recording your own podcast.
I hit
between
my mic. I was on mute. And you didn't hear the
between
wonderful things I had to say about
about
your
me.
Botox face. About your
Oh,
Botox face.
please say again.
I was saying that, like, it's gonna be difficult because, like, yes, you're not gonna have, like, you'll be able to control the emotion, but it will be zero emotion, and that's worse. I'd much rather know
Is
that you're
it
sad
though?
than not
Is it
know what you're feeling
really?
at all. Yes,
Is it though?
1000%.
I feel like it'll make life a little bit easier because now you
Zero.
can't be reading my body language. You must listen to the words that I say and believe them.
You know
There's
how
no
many
confusion.
relationships have ended because we decided to have the chat on WhatsApp as opposed to in person?
Hear
And
what I
so
said. I
much of
said, listen to
communication
the words.
is lost because, like, I can't see your face. There's no tone. Like, come on.
Okay, okay,
0%.
okay, okay,
No Botox for
okay.
us. Thank you very much.
I
Also,
mean,
like, black don't crack though. So, what are we talking about?
black don't crack until it does. Have you seen Pharrell recently?
Don't be mean.
I'm not being mean. I'm just saying we're
But
black.
is it?
The thing with black don't crack is black don't crack, black don't crack, black don't crack, black don't crack, cracks.
Are you
It's
talking about
literally what
Pharrell
happened.
Williams?
Yeah. Like he aged. My man's was not aging a single day for like 3 decades, and then ages overnight.
He looks
I
fine.
mean, look, there's nothing you can do. Old age is coming for all of us. The wrinkles
Old
are
age
coming
is old
for
age.
all of
Look, yeah,
us.
I see. He definitely does look older, but he still looks great.
For sure. I'm just saying, black don't crack is not an excuse. Not that's not an excuse. Black don't crack will not prevent you from getting old.
It's not about preventing us getting old. It's about looking good as we age. And I think that black people look great as they get older.
Mhm. So that's a no on Botox. Okay.
No, we're not doing that thing. We're not putting that chemical stuff in our face.
Hmm. Okay.
The
I'm just
answer is
not gonna
no.
tell you. Look, I'm sitting here going on and on about it. People will think like I actually have a plan. I don't even know what that thing is. I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
Also, I
to be
don't
fair, I
like
also don't know
needles.
enough about it.
I don't know
Yeah.
anything about it. I don't like needles, and now you want to inject my face.
No, thanks. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Um, okay, look. Today, today I think it might be a heavy chat. It's up to us, okay? We'll decide. But I want to call myself out on something.
Oh, yes, please. Let's do that.
And I love key feel like I'm gonna call you out on something too. But let's
Aw,
see.
why am I catching strays? You
I
decided you wanted to call yourself out. What do I have to do with anything?
I feel like we're gonna talk about this thing, and I feel like there's a part of you that's gonna be like, mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Mm-hmm,
All
mm-hmm.
right.
So let's see. Okay. So I think so the thing I want to talk about today is, am I growing or am I isolating? And the fact that you're laughing, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
All
Okay.
right.
Am I growing or am I isolating? I feel like a lot of our podcasts is leave me alone. I'm working on it in the spirit of like growth and like healing. But I think that there also needs to come a point where we're asking ourselves, and I'm asking myself, am I healing, growing, working on it, or am I hiding? you know? And I feel like in today's society where we've gotten a lot better at being like, oh, I'm like taking a mental health day, or it's becoming easier to talk about taking a break for self. And I feel like I'm taking a break. I mean, it has become the new excuse of like, oh, I'm busy. In some cases. In some cases, we genuinely are taking some time to like heal and process and go through stuff. But is it now the new excuse for like, oh, maybe, I'm busy, sorry, can't make it, I'm busy. Sorry, can't make it, I'm healing. Sorry, I can't make it, I'm just working on, sorry, I'm just taking some time to process some stuff that's been happening, so I can't make it. And then what you're actually doing is lying in your bed and doom scrolling on TikTok for 6 hours and not actually healing and processing and going through
I
stuff.
mean,
You're don't come
what?
at me with the what if that is healing,
Yeah.
because
What if that is part of your healing process, your healing journey? Who's to decide what your healing journey is going to look like for you?
I get you, and it is a fair question. I just think that if you've got something to process and heal through, you actually need to go through the pain and process of whether it's talking it out or journaling it out or seeing your therapist or calling
Mhm.
your friend to deal with it. It's not like, I don't know that doom scrolling
What if you're
is
doing all of those things and doom scrolling as well?
that's fine. That's okay. But I think that we need to interrogate it harder. That's all I'm saying. So if you interrogate it and you're like, yes, okay, I'm doing all the things, and yes, a doom scroll every now and then is part of my process. But if you are someone who is, I think that there's a difference between solitude and avoidance. That's really what I'm trying to say. Like, solitude is, I'm very purposefully and intentionally taking time uh for myself, and maybe that is the time with a therapist. Maybe it is like a dissociation moment of a doom scroll for 6 hours on TikTok, a nourishing phone call with family or friends, or alone time, whatever it is. But avoidance is, I think, more of a fear-based response. It's more of a withdrawal response. It's I'm choosing not to deal with it, so I'm going to withdraw into myself, under the guise of I'm healing, I'm processing, I'm working on it.
Look, first of all, I do feel very called out and I don't like it. Behave yourself, Cassandra. Um, but look,
Hmm.
you're right. There is a very thin line between I'm healing and I'm isolating or I'm avoiding it. And I isolate and I avoid. But the example I wanted to give, and I'm like, isn't it dogs
Mm,
that go off to hide to lick their wounds? Is it dogs that do that?
I don't know.
There's an animal that does that. Like they go hide when they want to lick their wounds. Like
Mm, mm,
they don't want to be they when they're vulnerable, they don't want
yeah,
to showcase that. Like they go hide to lick their
yeah,
wounds and to heal.
yeah.
And I'm like, terrible example. But if a person is terribly, terribly sick,
Mm,
they like sometimes they put you in a medical coma so that your body can heal. Like they
mm.
basically shut you down so that it can heal. I think that what
Mm,
I'm basically saying is sometimes the shutting down and isolating so that you can heal is helpful.
yeah,
It's like you put
yeah.
gosh, I'm going to sound very preachy right now. You put a seed in the ground, you cover it up, you hide it.
Mm,
And while
mm,
it's growing, you don't see it.
mm,
But then all
mm,
of a sudden it's like, we outside, we
mm,
here. I'm like,
mm, mm,
shouldn't that? I feel like there should be a space for that to sometimes, like, that's what's needed. But I
mm.
also understand that we can use it as a way to I don't think my issue is with the isolating. If you're isolating to heal and you are healing, working on it, and like you said,
Mm,
like speaking to your therapist or journaling or
mm,
praying or
mm,
or
mm, mm,
facing your
mm,
demons or whatever. And
mm.
then when you're done with that, you can come out of isolation. I think what's dangerous is if you are isolating just so you can avoid.
That's exactly my
That's the
point.
one. Oh, then I'm not isolating to avoid. So I
That's
wasn't called out
exactly my
after all.
point.
I'm
That's
isolating
exactly my
to
point.
get
It's
through
it's
it.
it's understanding the difference between, am I purposely and intentionally choosing solitude,
Mm,
or am I choosing avoidance
mm,
under the guise of solitude?
got it.
But actually, what this is a fear-based response to trauma, a protective-based response to a situation or an issue. You're choosing to withdraw, but you're telling people, "Oh, guys, actually, I'm just, I'm taking a mental health weekend, or I'm
Mm,
taking a
mm,
mental health
mm,
day."
mm.
And I think a good sign of that is going to be when that mental health day turns into a mental health week, turns into a mental health month, turns
And
into a
nothing's
mental health
getting
six
better.
months.
Mm.
Nothing's really moving. You're not really feeling healed. You're not really feeling fulfilled. People don't really know what's going on with you because you've purposefully built this wall around you to kind of, and it's not that you don't have stuff that you need to work on, it's just that you're not working on it.
You're not doing it.
you're
Yeah.
you're avoiding it. You're actually
Mm,
just
mm,
avoiding
mm.
tapping into the space to kind of, go through it and heal.
I mean, it's difficult to confront yourself and your bad habits and your traumas, and oftentimes, just like I've said this jokingly that my spirit animal would be an ostrich because I'm just like
Hidden
head in
sand.
the sand, babes, head in the
You
sand,
have said this before.
and it's quite easy to do, just like pretend it's not
Yeah,
happening, stick your head in the sand, avoid,
yeah,
avoid, avoid, avoid.
yeah, yeah.
But at some point, you've got to ask yourself, are you doing yourself any good by
Mm,
avoiding, avoiding, avoiding? Because
mm,
are you going to live your whole life with your head in the sand? You're going to miss all the
yeah,
great things. You're not going
yeah.
to hear the birds or see the sky or see Cassie and her butterfly that flew into her studio one time. But Cass, it is difficult sometimes
Tell me
to
more.
separate both of those things.
I agree.
Because sometimes for me, what starts out, and I think it's probably true for a lot of people, what starts out as isolating to heal can often turn into avoidance.
This was
And
100% going to be my next point. So, yes,
okay.
please continue. Unpack, unpack, unpack.
And
Because
not,
it can start with good intention,
yes,
and then
go
yeah,
left.
go for it.
How do you prevent that from happening? I guess is the chat. How do you prevent
So,
that from
I think
happening?
so this is a really good thing, because so for me, and now this is where I'm calling myself out, okay? Um I think that there is a trap that I have kind of created for myself, and I have seen it in other women as well, where it is about hyper independence. It's this, like, I can do it all by myself
Oh,
energy.
girl.
Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
I I don't wanna reach out to people and ask for help, whether it's because I don't wanna be an inconvenience, whether it's because I don't wanna feel like I'm, laying my burdens down at somebody
Don't
else's
want to be
feet.
judged.
I don't wanna be judged. I don't wanna have to explain. Like, I don't have to, like, go into all of the details about why this
Yeah.
thing is, like, so difficult. I don't have the energy
Yeah.
to unpack it and talk about it. And so well, let me say, I mask that as hyper independence. I can do it alone. Like, I can do it by myself. I'm gonna host the birthday party. I'm gonna send out the invites. I'm gonna put the decorations up. I'm gonna bake the cake. I'm gonna
Can you
cook the
stop?
meal.
Now you're
I'm
just calling
gonna
me out.
No, but I'm saying,
This
like,
particular
but I'm gonna do
example.
it. I'm gonna do it all by myself. Like, I'm
Well,
gonna
what
do
if
it all
I
by I'm
can?
not gonna
What if I can do it all by myself?
Okay,
What
but then
then?
what happens is that I get to the party and I feel a little bit of, I'm just extrapolating the analogy,
Yes,
but
yes,
I
yes.
feel I feel a little bit of resentment that I had to do it by myself. Everybody's here enjoying, but no one is acknowledging how much work I went in
Mm.
I put in to make the party the party. But that's only because of me, because I didn't let anybody help me. And the thing is that
Shoo.
my community would jump like this to be like, "Oh, I'll bake the cake. So and so is going to bring the
Yes, but why didn't your
decorations. So
community
and so."
offer?
Didn't they?
Fair enough.
Didn't they? And did you not go, no, it's cool,
Oh
it's
no, it's
okay, I got
okay.
it.
Yeah.
It's okay, no, don't worry, I got it. No, don't
Oh,
worry,
it's cool. I've got it. You
I'm
just
absolutely
come.
fine.
You
You
just
didn't
bring
let them
yourself.
in. Like
Mm.
you didn't let them in, and now you're like low key resenting the world for not following up, for not checking in. But they didn't know that they needed to check in because you didn't tell them, hey guys, I'm not okay. Hey guys, things are really hard. What you said is, guys, I'm taking a mental health break. I'm not gonna come to that thing because I just need some time. And then instead of, I don't know, whether it's leaning on community, leaning on the professional therapist help, or, you know, calling a friend, calling a family member, you doom scrolled on TikTok. It's dissociative behavior. Do you know what I mean? It's withdrawal behavior. Um and I think that there are some, and don't get me wrong, I agree. There are sometimes when I like will doom scroll on TikTok for 6 hours, and it's I enjoy
6 hours though.
I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying like I
Okay.
enjoy
Phew.
every minute of my time on the TikTok because I'm like, I'm entertained, I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm doing my pelvic floor exercises when the
Oh
lady
my
comes
gosh.
on and is like, do
She's
your
my new
pelvic floor,
favorite person. On,
do your pelvic floor
off.
exercises.
I love her so much.
And then
Just love her.
she usually does like a cool little song with it as well. So there I'm like singing to Will I Am and like doing my pelvic floor exercises. You
I
know what I
love her
mean?
so
Mm.
much.
So don't get me wrong, there's sometimes where that is fun and restorative, but I want to call us out on where is it genuine intention based solitude, or is it avoidance? Is it withdrawal behavior for whatever reason, you know?
I think that, yes, there should be a space for allowing you to hide and
Yes.
avoid if
Yes.
that's what you needed in the moment. I think the
Mm-hmm.
problem is when you stay there and you let it fester, like it becomes home
Mm,
and you get comfortable and then you move in,
mm,
you bring your blankie, your favorite
mm,
pillow, and you
mm,
settle into it.
mm.
That's where I think it gets really rough. But
You settle
sometimes
into it, but then at some point you question. You're like, how did I get here? How is this happening? Like, why do I feel the way that I feel?
if
Why are
you
things
if
not
you get to the
progressing?
point
Why are
where you're
things not moving?
questioning, then
Hmm.
you're okay. But some people don't get to that point.
Fair.
If you
I
start to
wouldn't say you're
question it,
okay. You're
I
starting to
mean,
ask
there's
the right
hope.
questions.
Yes,
Yes,
there's
yes,
hope.
yes, yes, yes.
There's hope that you're
But
going to come
you're
out of
right.
it. But some
You're
people don't
right.
get to that point. They just settle in and then this becomes their new reality.
But you
And
settle in with a feeling of I don't know if I don't know if resentment is the right word, but you settle in with this, but there's a feeling, there's this niggliness,
yes,
and
yes.
it manifests as negativity in your life.
Yes, and you
And it's
become very negative and you become bitter
yes,
and you can't
yes,
accomplish, you don't
yes,
have the energy to do
yes,
anything. Yes.
yes,
But then
yes.
those people don't, they still don't question, how did we get here?
Mm,
They
mm,
don't question
mm,
it. They just think
mm,
that, to
mm,
your point, they feel like everyone neglected them in their time of need, even though they didn't ask for help, even though they said I was fine, right? And
mm,
so they've got this bitterness and this anger towards their tribe and their community, and then they're just mad at the world and still
mm,
can't figure out how did we get here. So I'm like, if you
mm.
start asking the questions, there's still hope for you, you know?
Fair,
There's still
fair,
hope.
fair, fair.
So I'm like, if in the moment, like, bad example, something really bad example, your your sex tape leaks. Like you and this person, you thought this person was the one, or let's even say it was a spouse, and now the person's an ex and whatever, and you did this thing with trust and whatever, and now it's leaked, and you're all over the internet. Everyone's seen everything God gave you, and now you've lost your job, you've lost your reputation,
This is such a
like,
hectic example, but
I
yeah.
understand, but that's why I used it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that in the moment, you needing to hide and isolate and avoid is the right response. That's like your default I'm self-preservation response.
Got you.
But the problem is you cannot stay there.
You can't. Look at
Like,
Kim Kardashian.
you
Look
can't.
how she survived her sex tape and
I
turned
mean,
it
build an
into a
empire from your sex tape
billion-dollar
leaking.
empire. There
Why
you go.
not?
There you go.
But that's
If
actually a
Kim
great
K can do it,
example.
if Kim
You know
K can do
what?
it, you can do it
The
too.
episode has come full circle. We can go home now. You know, because it's okay. And I know that people don't think of Kim K as like a person, as
Mm,
like human who with
yes,
emotions
yes.
and
With
whatever,
feelings, yeah.
with feelings. And but I'm like, except it wasn't, and most people feel like it was an intentional thing, the
I think it
leaking.
was an intentional play by Chris, but okay, that's my conspiracy theory.
Do you-
Fine.
but I feel
Hmm.
like she would have also been rocked a little bit. She might not have shown it to the
What?
world, but I
I
think she
would
would
be
have been
very
rocked.
surprised if she wasn't. All of your goodies, all of your jiggly bits just
Everything.
out there, and everybody is watching it. And
But did she have jiggly
oh,
bits though? Because I mean, she is
I'm
Kim K after
just,
all. It's not
I'm
like
just
if a
saying.
sex tape of you or me leaked. Jiggly.
Just
We the
saying.
jiggle
I'm just
janglers.
saying,
But
like, oh, 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 oh.
right, I
Yeah,
feel like
I
she would
wouldn't
have been
have a good
rocked.
time.
And hiding and avoiding and hibernating, whatever you want to call it, for a little bit while you lick your wounds is probably the natural response. So don't
I'm with
feel
you.
bad about it. The issue here is, what do you do from that point on? How do you pick yourself back up? How do you go on a healing
Mm.
journey? How do you turn this thing that brought you low? How do you use it for your own good? How do
Mm.
you build $1 billion empire from a sex tape? That's what we're basically, that's what we're saying. How do you come back from an abusive relationship? How do you come back from being sexually assaulted? How do you come back from being
Yeah.
fired unjustly? How do you come back from being betrayed by your friend and your husband? Like, hide, heal, isolate, hibernate, avoid, but you cannot afford to stay there. And you must put yourself on a timer, because the longer you
Mm.
stay in it, the
Mm.
easier it gets to keep staying and the harder it is to come out. Like, so
It's very true.
I feel like
It's very,
maybe if
very
you need
true.
to avoid and run away and hide, to your point, Cass, a good thing to probably do or to have is someone you trust
It's
that
community.
can come and pull you out. So
A
whether
thousand
it's
percent.
your tribe, your bestie, your sister, your therapist, there needs to be someone who knows that you're going away to hide and to lick your wounds because you need to, for a few days, for a week. But then that person also needs to have power of attorney, so to say, to walk in your home,
And
pull
be
the
like,
blinds open and be like, get
we're done
up.
now. We're done now. We're
It's
done now.
get up.
I think
Yeah.
I think that this you've really hit the nail on the head of where I was going, because the energy of like hyper independence, the energy of, and specifically I want to speak to women, because I think that this is something as women we I don't know, we're like pre-coded with like the ability to do it all. Do you know what I
Mm,
mean? We take care of all the people in the home and
mm.
forget to take care of ourselves. We take care of all the people in the home. We are taking care of the different children. We're taking care of the job at work and managing the crazy manager and managing the insane colleagues. We're taking care of friendships. We're taking care of family, older parents, whatever it is. Like, we've got so much that's on us that it is very easy to be like, I'm an independent woman, I can do all of this stuff, that I don't need anybody energy, because you feel like nobody else is going to show up and support you anyway, so you just do it.
Yeah.
So I think that anyway, I think that that's part of what is going to get you out of this avoidance piece, is then exactly like you're saying, Aura, is to tap into the community, whether it's that
Mm.
one person, whether it's the WhatsApp friendship group that you're like, hey guys, I'm not doing so hot, I'm going dark for a week, just FYI. But this community then is aware, knows, they may not know the detail, but they know who you are, where you are. And then they know that if in a week they haven't heard from you, they're like, hey, babes, what's happening? What's good? They know where you live. So they're going to show up at your house and be like, hey, girl, the time has come.
You
Um,
did this to me though, and I really, in the moment, I really did appreciate it, because like
oh, I
at least
did.
There was this one time you needed to go dark. You've done it to me more than once.
Mm,
There
mm,
was,
mm,
but the first time you needed to go dark, you were struggling at work, you were
mm,
overwhelmed,
mm,
you were
mm,
tired, you were just not in a great place, and you
mm.
just messaged me up out of the blue, and you're like, friend, I need to go dark. Um, you're not gonna see me. You're not gonna hear from me.
Yeah,
But I wanted to let you know so that at least you're not worried if you can't
yeah,
reach me. This is a
yeah,
situation.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, I'd never had a friend do that before,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
I've never done it. At that time, I'd never done it. And I was like, oh, this good to know. This is helpful, because at least now I'm not like panicking, like I can't reach Cassandra. I don't know what's happening.
for
You told me
sure.
up front. And then I now knew that,
Yeah,
okay, by the time a couple, like a 2 days, 3 days has passed and I still don't see Cassandra, I'm like, yo, woman, are
I
you
know.
okay?
And this was in Dubai, and then you showed
This
up
was
at
in
my
Dubai.
house. Yeah, you were like, I mean,
Got
you
in the
reached out, you
car.
were like,
I
hey,
did.
I'm coming over. And I was like, okay. And then and you showed up at my house like 4 or 5 days later. And it was good. And I have done this. Like I did it with you. And I remember that time because I messaged you, I messaged Terry, I messaged Nornji, I messaged my mom, my
Mm,
dad, my brother. And I was like, hey friends, family, FYI, shit has hit the
I'm
fan.
out.
I'm out. I promise I'm not like dead in a ditch somewhere, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be answering my phone. I'm not gonna be responding to emails. Just FYI. Yeah.
I loved it that you did that because it gave you the space that you needed
Yeah.
without and look, this is also the importance about carefully selecting your community and making sure that
Mm-hmm.
your community understands you. And as
Mm,
Cassie, you've called out before, not just that they understand you and not just that they respect your boundaries, but that they uphold your boundaries as well.
mm,
Because
mm-hmm.
in a different, and I've said this before about how Nigerian friendships can be a little bit more forceful and like
Mm,
and
mm,
obviously a lot of us are learning, but like with a Nigerian tribe, they might not, the default setting is not to give you that space.
mm.
The default setting is to want to bombard you, like, no, we can't let
Of
you
course, we can't
sink
let you.
into this, we can't let you,
Mm,
we
mm,
must pull you out instantly, but that's not
mm,
what you need in the moment. And so for
mm,
me, my hesitance with reaching out to say to, certain members of my tribe, like I'm out, is that they would want to double click. And I'm just like, the whole point of me being out is that I don't want to
got you.
explain right now. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't have the words right now.
I don't
Yeah.
have the words or
Or
the
the
energy.
energy. Mm,
So rather than reaching out to so that's why I'm like, you also need to make sure that the tribe that you are surrounding yourself with are people who can aid you through this process and not
mm,
hinder it. Because I
mm,
wouldn't say that to certain people. What you did, there's very few people that I would reach out to be like, hey, by the way, I'm out, for I need time.
yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm like, now you're double clicking and now you're like, I'm coming over. Don't come over. The whole point
It's the whole
is to
point
be
is that
like,
I don't
I
want to.
can't deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, you're you're right. So, yeah, and you're right because there are some people who won't respect the boundaries. So part of the community journey is engaging with the people who will respect that.
Yeah.
Um, so I think there is also something to be said about healing within the safety of community as well. So you fully respected the boundary that I drew up when I was like, I'm out,
Mm.
but then a couple days later, you showed up at my house to check, like, what's happening, like,
Pulse check.
what's going on, what's good,
Mm.
and I think there's something to be said about being able to be amongst community, even if you're not fully healed yet. Okay. And
Mm.
there's power in that, and there should be safety in that, right? And so you don't have to be a fully processed and healed person to be dating someone. You don't have to be a fully processed and healed person to engage with people and engage with friends. So
Mm.
even if you're still on the journey, it's not that life as a whole needs to stop completely, while you heal and while you process that.
Mm. Mm.
And I think for me, that's what I'm learning right now. Like for me, I'm in this space where there's stuff that I'm processing, stuff that I'm healing. I'm working on my health, I'm working on my body, I'm working on like, building this new phase of my career. And I'm like,
Mm,
okay, well, I have compartmentalized life so much that I'm like, well, this part can't start until this part is sorted out. And
mm,
that's not true. Two things can be true at the same time,
yeah.
so yeah, so I think it is definitely about doing the work, but I think that connection is part of the work, whether it's
Mm,
new connections, whether it's old connections within a safe space. Connecting with people and healing in community is part of the journey of processing, and 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 crossing that line between what is like solitude and intentional isolation, and what is just straight up avoidance withdrawal
mm,
behavior.
mm.
Yeah.
I'm not good at that one yet, so I do definitely have to learn. I'm not good at healing within the community. I want to
Mm,
heal and
mm.
then come to the community like
Me too.
I'm
Me
okay
too.
now.
Me
I
too.
need
Me too.
to I need to learn I need to learn that one because you're right. It does stem from the I can do battle by myself mentality. Like I can do it myself. I can
Mm,
do it myself. I can do it myself. I don't want to come out and look like I don't have it together.
mm,
Like I don't
mm,
have my
mm.
life. So I'm going to wait until I fixed it and then I'm going to come out. But it doesn't need to be that way.
It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that
Mm,
way. So I think that there's a couple of questions that you can ask yourself to just check in, and
mm,
understand, like, what side of the line am I on? Am I on avoidance or am I on intentional solitude? And I think the first thing is, am I avoiding stuff or am I protecting myself? Like, is this a decision that I've made because I feel the need for protection, and so I'm like
mm,
withdrawing? The other question that I think you could ask yourself, and I think for me, this is one I've been asking, what I've noticed is, after I've done a withdrawal that I know is an avoidance mechanism, um, I often feel lonelier. I don't feel better. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
So
mm.
it's like, do you feel after this alone time, do you feel better or do you feel lonelier? Do you feel more separate? Do you feel disconnected?
Sure.
I think that's a good one. That's a good one to ask yourself. Um, and then I think it's just also about being mindful with all the decisions that you make. Is this a self-care moment or is this a self-sabotage moment? Those are
Sure.
those are those are important questions that you
Mm.
could you could just, I don't know, just a little bit of a self check-in. So yeah, that's where my head is at the moment. What is solitude? What is avoidance? Am I on the right side of that line, in the journey of healing? And am I hindering my progress by tapping into this hyper independence energy that I know that I have? So yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Working on it.
Working on it all day, every day. Come say
Working
hi
on
on
it.
socials. Let us know how you manage this whole thing of solitude and avoidance. How does your community support you? Let's learn and grow from each other. I think it's important, especially as we're talking about community. Let's build community together and amongst ourselves. So yeah, so come say hi on socials. You can find us on Instagram and on TikTok, and of course you can watch us on YouTube, Spotify, and listen to us on Apple Podcasts. Yeah, we love you guys. Okay, bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere and everywhere you find your podcasts. Also, you can watch and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, love you. Bye.